Welcome back. I'm Ashley Turner. Today's video is about having a healthy sense of self, a strong ego. And we're talking about the difference between having a high ego or a low ego. And that what we actually want to build is a strong core sense of self. A lot of times in our spiritual practices or yoga traditions, we hear about all these myths and tools to transcend the ego or to slay the ego. That we want to get past our ego, we want to get out of our ego. Actually, what we want is an integrated, clear, healthy ego. The ego is connected to our third chakra, which is right here. It's our power center, our belly center. And this governs our ego identity. It's where we develop a sense of who we are, of literally, this is me, this is not me. It's the terrible twos in human developmental psychology, when a baby moves out of just relating to the parents and actually starts to feel who they are and their sense of self. And it's all about boundaries. So in yoga, we talk about everything having these three qualities or gunas. The first one is rajas, which is a very active quality. Highly active. Raj means king, so it's this sort of heightened sense of activity and movement. The opposite of that is tamas. Tamas means cohesion, steadiness, stability, and if it's imbalanced, it can be dull and start to get lethargic or inertic. So the center point is called sattva, and this is the balance between high energy and low energy. Sattva, also the root word, means truth. In other words, when we're in a balanced state, when we're in harmony, we tap into our truth and we're in a more truthful, authentic state of being. So your task this week is to really look at and focus on building a healthy, balanced sense of ego. In other words, not a high ego. A high ego, rajasic ego, is to say, I am the shit. To make yourself feel better than someone else. A low ego, the opposite of that, tamasic ego, is to say, I'm a piece of shit, or I'm not as good as, I'm insecure, I'm vulnerable about these things. What we want to do is come into the middle point where you, in the same moment, can accept a compliment and completely own all of your goodness, your wisdom, your magic, and your power, and acknowledge your vulnerabilities and your weaknesses and your faults and the growing edges where you're really working to improve in your life. And so we tie both together, and every single moment of every single day we have aspects of ourselves that are beautiful, brilliant, amazing, and aspects of ourselves that are more shadowy, that we're more afraid of, or that we tend to push away. So to build a healthy ego is to acknowledge both aspects and to fully own both aspects. That's your aim for this week. So when someone gives you a compliment, you can fully own it. And when someone criticizes you or is calling you out on your stuff, you can also fully own that. Stay tuned for next week. I'm going to get into this a little more, but for now, just look at the places in yourself that you tend to push away and shun, or the places in yourself that you kind of always want to project and bolster in the world. And instead, find that sense of lightness, sense of humor about yourself, and allow the full spectrum of who you are to show up every day. Have a wonderful week, and please let us know how this works for you. Let us know your tamasic or low ego stuff, qualities, and your high ego pride. And we look forward to hearing from you. AshleyTurner.org. Have a wonderful week. Take care.